Next, we're going to use a hard ball. So here I'm using a lacrosse ball. You could use a golf ball or something hard to roll onto the arches of the foot. This is really good for plantar fasciitis or any foot injuries that you really want to massage out the foot, but you need something sturdy. Here I'm using a lacrosse ball. So we're just going to go for time here and go for about 2 minutes, rubbing and massaging out the foot and just trying to get the entire area of the foot as we're massaging and kneading into there. Now, if you want to go harder, definitely put more body weight onto the foot and you can get more of a massage. So this is more of muscle release onto the plantar fascia, the arch muscles of the foot. Next, we're going to do a towel pull using the toes to pull a towel over. So we really want to use the toes to grab the towel and twist it inward. And the goal is to try to keep your heel attached to the floor at all times, grabbing the towel, pulling it over and dropping it. And then keeping the heel anchored, grabbing the towel, pulling over, letting go. And we're going to do that pulling inward about 10 times, doing 3 sets of 10, working up to 3 sets of 15. Again, keeping the heel anchored on the floor the entire time like a pivot and just grabbing the towel, bringing it over, letting go. Here we're going to go the other side. So grabbing the towel with your toes, swinging over inward, letting go, bringing the left foot up, grabbing the towel, bringing it inward. And again, starting out at 3 sets of 10, moving up to 3 sets of 15 to try to strengthen the toes and the ankle as you're bringing it inward, really scrunching with the toes. Again, doing 3 sets of 10 to start out. Now we're going to do towel grabs using your toes. So this is really to strengthen the toes. You want to try to squeeze with your toes, grab the towel, lift it up in the air, and drop it down. So I'm using my hand here, but grab the towel, move it over. Grab the towel, move it over. And we really want to use the toes to grab the towel. So this is a really good strengthening exercise for the foot and the toes to be able to grab, lift, and drop over. So do 10 times each side. So 3 sets of 10, grabbing over. Now we're going to switch to the left side, so we want to strengthen both. Same thing, grabbing the towel with the toes, lifting it up in the air, moving it over. Doing that 10 times, 3 sets of 10 for each foot. We really want to try to focus on squeezing and grabbing the towel, not trying to throw the towel, but really try to squeeze with the toes, providing strengthening for the flexion of the toes as you try to lift and grab the towel over. Doing 3 sets of 10 is a good way to start out, and then increasing to 3 sets of 15. Next, we're going to do some toe scrunches. You can do it in sand, rice. Here I'm using some beans. And all we're really trying to do is provide resistance from spreading the toes and flexing the toes. Spreading the toes, flexing the toes. We're just trying to provide some resistance. So we're going to do a full cycle of stretching out, bending 10 times. Doing that 3 sets of 10 is a good way. And we're just providing resistance, and we're going to do both sides here. So doing 10 times, 3 sets of that. And really try to spread out the toes as far as you can and bend the toes as much as you can. So next we're going to do an exercise called small foot. And this is an exercise to strengthen the arch of the foot. So you want to start with your foot flat on the floor and then try to raise the roof of the arch and squeezing and holding that for 3 seconds. That's really the goal here. And that's going to help to create more of an arch, whereas a weak muscles will allow your foot to become more flat. So you get more flat-footed from weak arch muscles. So we're trying to build the strength, raising that roof of the arch, squeezing and holding for 3 seconds. Doing that 10 times, 3 sets of 10, and then moving up to 3 sets of 15. Again, here we're going to go to the other side, starting flat, squeezing up, squeezing for 3 seconds is the goal. And your foot might cramp, that's okay, but we want to try to get 10 times, and then moving up to 15 is the goal. And now we're going to work on balancing on one leg, starting on the right side. The beginner level is on the floor. Trying to balance for 10 seconds without the other foot touching the floor, moving up to 30 seconds. And then if you're good at that, you could move to the more advanced level later. So again, trying to keep that leg in the air for 10 seconds without touching, with the opposite, moving up to 30 seconds. Now the advanced level is on a disc or Bosu ball or a pillow. Still same principles, 10 seconds, moving up to 30 seconds without the other foot touching the floor is the goal. Now we're going to do balancing on one leg, adding a heel raise. So lifting the heel into the air while maintaining that balance. Not trying to let the other foot that's in the air touch the floor, but maintaining the balance the entire time by lifting that heel into the air as high as you can and then coming back down to the floor, maintaining the balance the entire time and not letting the other foot touch the floor. We want to start out with 10 heel raises, moving up to 15. So we're going to do 3 sets of 10 and then 3 sets of 15 on each side. Maintaining the balance is the hardest part of this, as you're lifting up and down and not trying to touch the floor is the big challenge. Now we're going to move over to the other side. Same principles, maintaining that balance, coming up, not trying to let that other foot touch the floor, starting out at 10, moving to 15. 3 sets of 10 and then up to 3 sets of 15, lifting that heel into the air. We're going to do balance exercise, adding a toe touch. On this one, we really want to incorporate balancing, so not allowing the other foot to touch the floor, but adding a toe touch, coming back to center, regaining your balance, and then touching the toe again. And really not allowing that other foot to touch the floor. That's the main goal, not allowing that other foot to touch the floor, and challenging yourself by adding a toe touch every time. So doing 10 times, doing 3 sets of 10 toe touches. And on this one, we want to do both sides. So coming back to center, touching the toe, coming back up. And the goal is really to not allow the other foot to touch the floor as you come down, up to recenter yourself, coming back, touching the toe, starting out at 10 toe touches, going to 3 sets of 10 on that. And this is a really good challenge. As you can tell that I can't balance as well on this foot, but try to keep the other foot in the air and recentering yourself every time. So don't try to go too fast. We really want to touch the toe, come back up, recenter, touch toe again. Now we're going to do a more advanced level. So we're going to do it on a balance disc. And again, trying to touch the toe, coming back up, recenter, touching the toe again. So this one, again, we can do 3 sets of 10 and then moving our way up to 15 as we improve. The goal really is not to touch the toe, but trying to limit the amount of times the other foot touches the floor. And again, we're going to do both sides here. So touching the toe, coming back to recenter, and then coming back down. The goal is to really try to improve not touching the floor. That's the real key, is if you're improving on your balance. Touching the toe is a really good challenge, a really good way to balance and to see how your balance is by incorporating the toe touch. And this is the more advanced level, trying on a disc. Now we're going to do single leg balance on one leg, adding a partial squat. So partial squat's about 45 degrees, whereas a full squat would be 90 degrees. So slightly bending that knee, maintaining that balance is a partial squat. So as we're doing a balance, we want to maintain the other leg in the air the entire time, not touching the floor to help recorrect. We want to focus on one leg as we're doing that partial squat. Staying balanced and doing 10 squats, moving up to 15. So 3 sets of 10 and then moving up to 3 sets of 15. Now we're going to move over to the left side, same principle, partial squat, maintaining the balance the entire time, not touching the floor. Again, 3 sets of 10 and then moving up to 3 sets of 15 is our goal, maintaining the balance of a partial squat on one leg. Next, we're going to do some ankle strengthening with a TheraBand in the 4 directions that the ankle goes. So we're going to go down, starting with the foot up, going down. Then we're going to go with the foot up, pushing inward. And then next, we're going to go up and then outward, starting up, in, going out, and then starting down, pulling up. So starting down, pulling up. And with this, we're going to use a TheraBand to provide the resistance. So on this one, we're going to push down. So starting with your ankle up, like you're pushing down on a gas pedal, all as far pointing your toe as you can go. So starting with the ankle bent upward, pointing your toe as far down as you can go. Next, we're going to go starting outward, we're going to pull in, keeping the heel anchored to the floor. So starting out, coming in, starting out, coming in with a TheraBand to provide the resistance on this one. And then next we're going to come outward. So starting in, twisting out, starting in, twisting out. And again, keeping the heel anchored to the floor, we're just moving the ankle from the in, moving out, starting in, moving out. And then next we're going to go up. So starting with your ankle pointed down as far as you can go, pulling upward, pulling upward. Now I'm using my opposite foot to provide and hold the TheraBand to move in this direction. As you're doing it slow, if you have somebody to help you, they can definitely help you in that direction. Now we're going to go the other side, same thing, starting with the ankle up, pushing down on the gas pedal as far as you can point your toes. Starting up, pointing down. Starting up, pointing down. Holding for about 3 seconds on the downward motion. And all of these we're going to do starting out at 3 sets of 10, moving to 3 sets of 15. So this one we're going to come inward, keeping the heel planted onto the floor, starting out, coming in. Starting out, coming in. And then again, I'm using my opposite foot to anchor down the TheraBand to provide the resistance. I'm doing this by myself. Then next we're going to start in, pushing out. Starting in, pushing out. So these are all the directions of the ankle. And again, we're going to start out at 3 sets of 10, moving up to 3 sets of 15. So keeping the heel anchored to the floor, starting in, pulling out. Starting in, pulling out. And next we're going to do upward. So starting with your ankle pointed forward, pulling up. Starting forward, pulling up. Starting forward, pulling up. And again, trying to keep that heel anchored down to the floor, doing 3 sets of 10, moving up to 3 sets of 15.